Assalamualaikum, this is Dr. Shireen. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today in this video, we are going to learn the structure of mitochondria. So what basically is mitochondria? Mitochondria is a membrane-bound organelle. This is the organelle that contain membrane around it and is found in the cells of most eukaryotes. और ये वो organelle है जो eukaryotes का feature है. As we know that the basic difference in between prokaryote and eukaryote is the absence and presence of nucleus and the presence of membrane-bound organelles in the eukaryotic cell. So basically, mitochondria is an organelle of a eukaryotic cell. Only the eukaryotes contain mitochondria. Now mitochondria have a double membrane structure. Mitochondria का जो structure होता है, it is double membrane bounded. Double membrane means it contains two phospholipid bilayers. The phospholipid bilayer that is present in the cell membrane is single, while mitochondria contain two phospholipid bilayers in total. This is one of the phospholipid bilayer and this is the second phospholipid bilayer and uses aerobic respiration to generate ATP. Aerobic respiration में जो mitochondria होता है वो food particles से ATP generate करता है and we know that ATP is the energy currency of the cell. In this process, mitochondria generate ATP using ऑक्सीजन को यूटिलाइज करते हुए माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया एटीपी जनरेट करता है. दैट्स वाई द प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एरोबिक, दैट इज इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ ऑक्सीजन. नाउ इन दिस पिक्चर वी कैन सी इट इज बेसिकली rod shaped organelle that is condensed in the cytoplasm of the cell. Now there is some additional point that we need to remember is that mitochondria, nucleus and the chloroplast that is present in the plant cell, these are all double membrane bounded organelles. These are the organelles that contain double membrane around them. Mitochondria are often described as powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria को cell का powerhouse कहा जाता है because their role in the synthesis of ATP, क्योंकि mitochondria ATP synthesize करता है. And we know that ATP is a vital source of energy for the body. हमारी body के almost हर cell को ATP की ज़रूरत है. Without them, cells would be unable to extract enough energy from the nutrients. Mitochondria के बगैर सेल न्यूट्रिएंट से एनर्जी एक्सट्रैक्ट नहीं कर सकता बिकॉज माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया इज़ द ऑर्गेनील जो हमारे ऑर्गेनिक फूड मटेरियल को एनर्जी में कन्वर्ट करता है. एंड ऑल सेल्यूलर फंक्शंस वुड सीज. और जब किसी सेल के अंदर माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया नहीं होते, इट मीन्स दैट सेल इज़ अनएबल टू फॉर्म एटीपी. और जो सेल एटीपी सिंथेसाइज नहीं करेगा उसके तमाम सेल्यूलर फंक्शंस सीज कर जाएंगे. The number of mitochondria in a cell can vary widely by organism, tissue and cell type. The number of mitochondria basically varies. It depends कि कौन सा cell है. For example, the cells that are more active contain more number of mitochondria like muscle cell हो गए या कोई locomotive cells हो गए as compared to the cells of skin. Now coming to the structure of mitochondria. In order to understand how mitochondria works, what are its functions, we must know the structure of mitochondria because we know that it is an important organelle of the cell that generates ATP for the cell. The basic structure of mitochondria is composed mainly of outer mitochondrial membrane. As we know that there are two membranes that encircles the entire organelle. So the membrane that encloses the organelle is the outer mitochondrial membrane. Now comes the intermembrane space. So the intermembrane space is the space between the outer and the inner mitochondrial membrane. As we can see in this diagram that this is the outer mitochondrial membrane and then comes the inner mitochondrial membrane. And in between these two membranes, there is very small space in between them that is about some nanometers thick. This is the intermembrane space. Like for example, if this is the outer membrane of the mitochondria and this is the inner membrane of the mitochondria that is basically forms enfoldings जो एक तरह से एक enfolded structure होता है. If this is the outer mitochondrial membrane and this is the inner mitochondrial membrane, then the space in between these two membranes is the intermembrane space. Now the fourth basic structure of mitochondria is the cristae. These are basically the enfoldings of the inner membrane. So this is basically cristae. All these enfoldings are basically cristae. that are formed by the inner mitochondrial membrane. Now, another component of mitochondrial structure is the matrix. It is the space within the inner membrane, and this space is basically matrix. All the space that is present within the inner mitochondrial membrane is the matrix. Enfoldings of the mitochondrial membrane are the cristae. The space in between the outer and the inner mitochondrial membrane is the intermembrane space. And all these five components basically made up the structure of mitochondria. So basically this is not all but a short and quick review of the structure of mitochondria. Stay tuned to learn more about the structure of mitochondria in detail. Do like, share and subscribe the channel if you like the video. Thank you.